Good evening. As you know, my name is Neil Tarangioli. This will probably be my last speech as a coach, so I want to make sure it's really, really long and very entertaining. First of all, congratulations to the players and the coaches. Good luck to this weekend. I hope you have the time of your life. It's one of the advice I used to give all of our players before the matches. That are significant. Go out there and have as much fun, but compete and enjoy it. As Dan mentioned, I've sat at this banquet about 18 times, and I was always anxious to get back to the room to have a team meeting. So I was kidding. I will be brief. I'd actually kind of thought about not coming to the dinner. Not out of disrespect for the CACC, because I have great respect for it. It was half of my coaching life. But it was awkward that the school I spent my entire career closed, and it was very, very sad. And the thought of having an induction into the Hall of Fame at somebody else's campus or at a neutral site didn't quite appeal to me. But I'm so proud and so thankful that I was inducted into this Hall of Fame. And Dan mentioned that I was a sort of a player's first coach. I don't know if that is altogether true, but for all the players and the coaches at Concordia and the administrators, and I felt I absolutely had to come down here for this, and I'm glad I did. My wife and I had to ride from hell here on the way down. We got stuck in traffic. I made a couple of wrong turns. We almost ran out of gas. I went to the mall instead of the hotel.
Great, a lot of fun.
So it was a little bit difficult, but I am here. Concordia joined the CACC in 2009, and I think it was probably one of the best moves we did for all of our sports, but most importantly for tennis. I will never forget my first experience coming to an event. It was in the fall of 2009. We were entering the Legacy tennis facility. The ITA tournament was there, and I thought I'd introduce myself to one of the coaches. I recognized him from, I'm not going to give you the name of the school, and I walked over and said, "Oh, I'm Neil Tarangioli, I'm from Concordia." He goes, "Oh, wow, we've heard about you. You're the Darth Vader of this conference." I said, that was quite an introduction. But after 15 years and an infinite amount of experiences and memories, my departure from the CACC will be this induction into the Hall of Fame, and I'm so grateful. I have said this for many, many, many years to my children and to my friends and anyone who would listen. I've been blessed. I've had an unbelievable life. Give you an example. Last summer, and don't feel sorry for me, in January of 2023, I went to the doctor, and the guy discovers out of nowhere an aortic aneurysm on my heart, and I had open heart surgery. My wife says, "That's a miracle. They never find those things, you just die." So it's a prime example. I lived a charmed life. And because of that, I owe a lot of people thanks. And first of all, I'd like to thank the CACC and Dan and Doug. I thought I'd known them for 15 years. They said they've only been together for 10. So, but they've done an unbelievable job. When I used to come to this banquet with our team, and Dan would get up and he'd say, "This is the only conference that's at dinner. It's one of the best conferences in the United States." I kind of like, eh. But after going over to the other conference that I've participated in, they don't have a dinner like this. They don't honor students in a room so nicely. So you've done a great job, and congratulations to you as well. I would also like to thank Bloomington for hosting this event. I know it's an unbelievable pain in the neck. Maybe it gives you a little advantage playing at home, but it is still a pain in the neck. And thank you to you guys for hosting it. Most importantly, I want to thank my players. Sports, college sports in particular, is all about relationships. I'm still in contact with guys, as I was telling, I think it was Dan, a guy, we were playing Westchester University a couple of weeks ago, Stack was, and I happened to go there, and one of the players who played for me in 1987 stop by. He's one of the pros at Legacy. He came over, we spent about an hour together chatting. Ricardo Pereira, if you've met him. Yes, he played for me. He was Dan's doubles partner. So, you know, I'm still in contact with players from every generation. It's great. We have a saying, and we probably stole it, but you are a member of the Concordia College tennis team for 4 years, but you're a member of the Concordia College tennis family for life. And I do see some of these guys and girls, so it is true. I'd like to thank two ADs at Concordia in particular, Yvonne Marquez and Kathy Latoris. They were very supportive when we had our unbelievable run from about 2005 to 2021. They were very supportive and helped me out. You know, Dan said some awfully nice things about me. I got to thank Dan Rockill in public. He played for me, and he was my assistant coach for 26 years, and now the roles are reversed. I'm coaching with him as an assistant coach, and it's actually very, very interesting. At one time, people used to refer to us as Pinky in the Brain, because I used to wear pink polo shirts, and he was a genius. We had a great voyage together, and I used the word voyage because Concordia was a clipper ship, and so I'll never forget that. The most important person that I have to thank is my wife, Doretta. And I'm going to embarrass her. I cannot tell you the turbulence that I've put her through. We watched a movie several years ago. Everybody should have to watch it before they get married. It's called Parenthood. And in the movie, this little old grandmother says, "I like the roller coaster. The merry-go-round is boring. It just goes around in a circle, and the roller coaster goes up and down, and it's scary, and it's frightening, and it's exciting." And that's sort of what our life has been like. We've been on a roller coaster with many, many things. She's given me the time, the freedom, and the support to coach, and I would not be up here tonight, and there's no doubt in my mind if she was not my partner in crime. So thank you, Doretta. I love you.
Thank you.
Okay, now for the boring part. I've been playing tennis since I was about 5 years old, so that's about 60 years. I've been coaching and teaching for about 40 years, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I could literally talk for hours on almost any subject, but there's two things that I would like to mention. I'm originally from a tennis family. My brothers, we all were recreational players, but my brother and my sister and I were competitive players. We all played in college. But the best player in our family, without question, was my father. He was, when he was in the amateur, when he was about 20 years old, he was 18 in the United States. He played Forest Hills. If you're familiar with that, it was the version of the US Open back then. He was fortunate enough to play Fred Perry, and unfortunately lost in 3 sets, or we'd all be wearing Neil Tarangioli clothing. But he had some credos when we were growing up. There were two that were serious, and there was one that was funny. He always said, you know, be your own man, and I think he stole that from Shakespeare. And then he said, never give up. And to the day he died, he never gave up. And sit tall. And notice I mentioned that as I have a very long torso and very short legs, so sitting tall is very easy for me. I used to win money in bars, telling people that were 6 feet tall that I could be taller than sitting down, and I would be. But at Concordia, we also had some credos. Fun is getting to do hard things well, and when the players first heard that, they thought it was insane. I used the phrase that I stole from Maritime, rising tide lifts all boats. As I said, we were a clipper ship, so rising tide is important to us, and never stop fighting. No matter what happens in life, you have to keep fighting. You know, things look bleak. You know, you're about to run out of gas. Your Waze is telling you to go the wrong way. Those are simple little dumb things, but you should always keep fighting. I'll never forget. And so 2 quick stories, I promise. We were playing the conference championship. The guys one year, I can't mention the school, and it was a match that we absolutely needed to win. The guy was down 5-2 in the third set. He was exhausted. He sat down on the changeover, and he looked at me, and I swear to you, I think he was looking for permission to just go out and lose 4 points. And as I walked over, I said, you know, they're going to talk about this comeback for years. And he looked at me, and I said, oh yeah. People are going to be talking about this for years, and you are coming back. Make no mistake about it. Okay, and some of us still do talk about that comeback. Second one is a couple of years back, and it was at a CACC championship. It was only the semifinals. One of our players, she was the last player on, and we ran out of daylight. And she was down 4-2 in the third set, and she was getting killed. She was tired. The other girl had gotten momentum. I think she'd come back from 2-1 down, it's up 4-2, and this match was over. And when the officials said they were going to be moving indoors, I said to her, listen, you know, on the way over in the van, it took 20 minutes, I said, you got to fight. You got to fight and be ready for prime time. She's only a freshman, you're a junior. Okay, she's not ready for prime time. You got to go out there and you just got to play well and just fight for every point. She won 16 of the next 18 points. We won that match, went on to win the conference championship. And the moral of the story is, you know, pressure is a privilege. You've heard that from Billie Jean King. You see it at stadiums. It is a privilege. It means you're getting to play for something important and meaningful. So tomorrow, or Sunday, excuse me, if you feel any pressure, enjoy it, embrace it. It means you're playing for something meaningful, and when your coach tells you to fight, make sure you do. Thank you, and have a good evening. Good luck over the weekend.